Hey there, it's Elizabeth and welcome back. Hope y'all are doing well. Today I'm going to do a flip through of my Jot journal for the month of August. Now, some of you have asked in the past if I've given up on my Fibonacci journal. No, I have not. I keep both. Some of the stuff that is in my Jot journal is not in my Fibonacci and vice versa. Some of the stuff that's in my Fibonacci is not in my Jot journal. Generally, my Jot journal is just the jottings of the goings on of my life. It's just simply one or two word phrases that describe what's going on. I really do enjoy this way of journaling. It is fast, it's easy, it's fun. You get to use up the stuff that you have. And yeah, I really do enjoy it. Now, in here, obviously, these are just jottings of my day. And in the Fibonacci, I elaborate more on specific things that have occurred in my life. So, I've been doing this since May, totally loving it. The book that I'm using is the Regular Happy Planner from Michaels from Mambi. And yeah, I'm loving it. So let's get to it. Over here, I always have my prayer list. So this was, wait, are we even on the right page? No, I skipped a whole week. Okay. This is the first week of August. So it was my beauty queen's 21st birthday this week. Oh my gosh, how time flies. Let me tell you, my gosh. It just seemed like yesterday she was bebopping around the house, you know? Oh, anyway, so this here was actually, since August started on a Tuesday, this was going to be blank. So this is what I decided to do. The background things are Victoria Thatcher. Love those printables. If you have a happy planner or a journal or anything, go over, I'll leave her website below. She has really cute, what are they called? Printables for the and she does them specifically for the Happy Planner and the Erin Condren. So, yeah, they're super fun to use and easy to use. I also use like Mambi stickers, and I use ephemera from places we've been to. I use random stickers. I just throw everything at this, whatever I have, on my desk, and I put it in here. So, let's see. I don't go through like every little thing because I will be doing like a Fibonacci flip through. But anyway, these are just little jottings of the things that have been going on in my life. So on Tuesday, my son had his MAS test. So yeah, he's trying to get a position out where my husband works. So he had to go in and take a test for that. Yeah, the yard got mowed, whatever. Working on Happy Journal and Phobo. And today, on this day, for my daughter, she really wanted a day designer. She is a planner girl. She doesn't do all the decorating and stuff like that, but she plans every minute of every day of her life. So we ended up giving her birthday present on the 1st, even though her birthday wasn't until Sunday, because I wanted her to be able to start on the 1st of the month and not have to, go back and back journal. So she was very happy with that. And let's see, this day we found out that my son had passed his test, which was super, super exciting because, a lot of people take 2, 3, 4 times to take the test in order to pass it, and he passed it on his first go. So we were very proud of him. And then this day also, my daughter and I were in my art room, and we were just sitting side by side with all the planner goodies out and planning together. So that was a lot of fun. And I got some goodies in a zine from Jacqueline on this day. And we were watching Sopranos all through this time on Netflix. At the bottom, I always write in like what we had for dinner and what we're watching on Netflix. And then on this day here, I worked on my zine number 2. I received a zine from Sherry, and that was sweet. And Oh, yeah, that day too. My poor husband, he had to go back in for a dentist appointment because he had to get more implants put in, all courtesy of his chronic illness. So that's been a nightmare. And yeah, that night dinner was catch as you can. It was like everybody fend for themselves because my poor big handsome, when he got home, he ended up sleeping for 12 hours. I mean, he was just wore out from that whole dentist appointment. I got a lovely postcard from a dear Facebook friend of Surat this day, and that was nice. I sent 8 zines out. And also because it was Friday, Big Handsome and I were headed down south for a little bit of R&R. So then let's see. On the weekend, I had a big fat headache on Saturday, so that wasn't good. And yeah, my husband and I did a little bit of out and abouting that day, and then we came home to relax. My father was leaving to go to Scotland, so I was looking forward to hearing about his trip. And then this was my daughter's special day. So on her birthday, we went out for a birthday brunch. She really wanted to go to a place called George's on Sunset. So we took her there for a brunch. We had mimosas. George, the owner, it's a very like trendy, place. And not really my speed. It's a little bit faster than I like to go, but it was wonderful. It really was a wonderful time together with the family, and we just had a really nice time celebrating her birthday on that day. And then on this week, this is the second week, and again, I use the same thing. I use my Mambi stickers. I use, clip art, stickers from my stash, the Victoria Thatcher in the background, all of that. So I had of course, my Monday call with my grandmother. I had my fruit and veg shake that morning. My poor cousin Jen was back in the hospital, so she had been fighting cancer for a year and a half, and oh, the poor dear. And then I worked in my Fobonichi, the rest of the day. We were still watching Sopranos. This whole week, we were still watching The Sopranos. So then this day here, I went out shopping with my daughter. So we had some errands to run. So we did that. And then, yeah, hanging out with friends, aka my gems. I love that we have those times where we just all chill on the patio. And now that my daughter's 21, she and I share a glass of wine together, and we just chill and hang out and catch up on everything. So it was really nice. And then Big Handsome, he had a conference with the Sunshine because he was coaching him for his interview, because after my son passed his MOS test, the next step was to have an interview. So, and this was going to be like the very first interview my son has ever been to. So, yeah. So we're so proud of him. And then this day here, I had what I term my get half naked for the doctor day. So I had to go in to see my Dr. Eric, my dermatologist, because I am a malignant melanoma survivor. So I go in and get checked out every 3 months, and I'm coming up on a year now of being cancer free, and in October. And so I think after that, I then start going back in like every 6 months. I'm not really sure. I worked on my Fobonichi, of course. I trimmed my Sunshine's hair that day. Then the next day, was Sunshine's big interview out at the plant, and oh my goodness, I was so nervous for him, the poor thing. He was nervous enough for himself, but that's what moms do. They worry, and they all of that. So, and then while he was out at the plant, he was able to have a lunch date with my Big Handsome, so that was really nice. They got to spend some time together out at work. And yeah, so then this day here, we had a cleaning frenzy. I'm not really sure why. Maybe I just had it in my mind that we had to clean up for some reason. I don't know. Then we did get some sad news about my cousin Jennifer. She was not doing well at all, and yeah, it was looking pretty grim. So we were praying, for her, of course, and her family. And then this was a Friday, so we headed down south. Oh yeah, I remember this. It took us 3 hours. There was an accident, unfortunately, on the main stretch. We call it a stretch. It's the 13-mile 2-lane road that connects South Florida to the Florida Keys. And it took us 3 hours to get 30 miles. Oh my gosh. But we got there and, everything was fine. Then the next morning, let me see. Oh, we all went out on the boat this day. That was so fun. It'd been such a long time since the four of us had been out together on the boat. Because a lot of times, even if all four of us are down there, I'm not feeling well, or my son doesn't, really want to go out on the boat, or, whatever. So this was the first time all four of us had been out in a very long time. So the boys did some lobstering, and us girls snorkeled. My daughter coaxed me into getting into the water. I do love snorkeling. I really do. But yeah, I got to be in the mood for it. So she was in swimming around. She's like, you got to come in. It's beautiful. So I finally jumped in, and yes, it is beautiful. It's like swimming inside of an aquarium. It's insane. Oh, and then this is like a workout log from the Mambi thing. And since, I don't work out, my activity for that day was snorkeling. The time was a bit, and calories burned, don't know, don't care. So we did end up getting one lobster though. When I say we, I mean Big Handsome and Sunshine. So that was nice. And then we headed home, and poor Big Handsome, he was in so much pain. It might have been from all the snorkeling and diving he had done the day before, because physical activity for him seems to really put him in a pain flare. So he was not feeling well at all. When I got home, and while Big Handsome was doing the meal plan, I made a new zine holder. And then I got some Happy Meal from Janet that was so sweet, and I was just so tired that night. Then this week here, I was feeling anxious. I'm not really sure why. I was worried, of course, about my cousin Jen, and I had a call with my grandmother, of course. I needed to go up and see my cousin while she was in the hospital, and I wasn't able to go this day. Maybe that's why I was feeling anxious. Anyway, I did have errands to run that day. Went to the post office, and it was Beauty Queen's first day as a teacher assistant. So, oh, it's raining. Huh. Anyway, squirrel. So then hours later, I remember, we had internet problems, and so it was a nightmare. I hate dealing with those companies. It's not even funny. We had vegan burgers for dinner. I think they were black bean and something or other, and they were really delicious. Then I was able to go visit with my sweet cousin Jen, and while I was there, I saw her mother and my other cousin, and my son went with me. He's so sweet, and the sweetest words were from Sunshine that day when he put his arm around me, after we were done visiting. We stayed about 2 hours, I think, and he put his arm around me as we were leaving the cancer ward, and he says, "Are you all right, Mama?" And so gave me a hug, and he's just so sweet. So while we were out and about up in town, in this more like in the city part, we had some errands to run. I had to return some of Big Handsome's shoes, and we had to go to Publix. And then I shared another glass of wine with Beauty Queen. So that was nice. And then this day here, I had FaceTime with Jerry. Love that. It's so much fun. So I was working on my Fobonichi, and I made a bunch of banana muffins for my husband to take to work. And on this day, I did some YouTube filming. I filmed a ramble session in a Jot Journal July. Worked on my Phobo. I got some Happy Mail and goodies from Kayleen, which was so sweet. And then, hot flashes suck. Let me tell you what. Oh my gosh. There are worse things in life, obviously, but I hate them. So this Friday we were headed south. We ran our normal errands, and hung out. And then not feeling well this day at all. And I also did a Fobonichi catch up. We just had a lazy day. Just neither one of us were feeling well at all. And then this day here, it was rainy and dreary, and I was praying for my cousin's family because I had found out that my cousin Jen had passed away after a year and a half of battling cancer. And I'm so glad I was able to go visit her a few days prior. And yeah, she was just a bit younger than me. And yeah. So then we had Big Handsome did the meal plan that day, and then Mama and Papa came. They made it here because they're gonna be starting overtime soon. So then the next day here was again. Oh, on Monday we had a celebration of Jen's life at her brother-in-law's house, and so it was a very quick thing. She didn't have a memorial service or anything like that. We had a family get together. Everybody was, in town because a lot of people were able, thankfully, to visit her before she passed. And so since everybody was already in town, they did a very quick impromptu gathering at at her brother-in-law's house, and so it was very sweet and very nice. They had a lovely slideshow. It was just precious, and so it was a very emotional day. So my husband and I went up there for that, and then this day here I took. We went out to breakfast with my son and Papa, so that was nice. And then we did a little bit of shopping. My father-in-law had errands to run, so that's why he came along with us. And we had to get some stuff for Big Handsome because his birthday was coming. And oh yeah, this day my husband sent me the coolest picture of a water spout that was out at the plant where he works, and so that was interesting. They are a beautiful sight. I know that's weird to say, seeing like a tornado on the water, but and it certainly is not fun to see when you're out on a boat. I can tell you that from experience, but it was a really cool picture. Still praying for my cousin's family, of course. And yeah, so then this day here was my husband's 51st birthday, and he's so adorable. I love him so much. And he came home. We don't really do that much to celebrate birthdays because of my husband's illness. He cannot eat properly. It's a whole other story, but so cake and ice cream and going out to a nice dinner and all that stuff, we don't do that because he can't eat. So so he came home and celebrated his birthday by doing a bunch of household chores, so and then just relaxing on the couch with some Netflix. And then on this day here, let's see. Yeah, I had a bunch of honey-do things. Yes, my husband does write out honey-do lists for me. I had to make a bunch of phone calls and do a bunch of things. So I got all of those things done. And then I helped my daughter with the quilt that she was making. I had a rough night's sleep. I helped my daughter finish off the most of the tie-offs on the quilt that she was making. And then we were headed down south for a week staycation. So I was excited about that. And my son came down for the weekend. So we went over to the bungalow on Saturday. We hung the TV. We finished doing the collage wall. We hung my sweet friend Annette's acrylic pour over there. It's beautiful. And we hung up some patio decor. And yeah, just came home and had dinner and watched Netflix. And then the next day I woke up in a lot of pain, which isn't unlike any other day. I had a really lazy day. I don't know if my son's home, so if my dogs start going nuts, please excuse them. Big Handsome was pulling the never-ending weeds. And then Sunshine went home. So, my poor little pup was sick too. Come here, you two. Come here. So then this was the last week here, and I had some me time. I was alone by myself, so I phoned my grandma. I had a play date with myself. So I worked a lot on the Fibonacci in my jot journal. It was the first day of school for my Sunshine. We actually I said it was a staycation, which it kind of was, but it ended up turning into more of a vacation. So that was a lot of fun. This was Beauty Queen's first staff writing meeting because she writes for her online university magazine. And then this day here, we were up at 6:30 a.m. going fishing. We caught some dolphin that day. It was a lovely, lovely boat ride. It was such a beautiful day. I was so tired. And so, yeah, I was falling asleep watching Netflix. And then the last day of August, we were up and out again on the boat. And we did catch a barracuda and 2 snapper. And we had a lot of fun fishing. It was just a beautiful, beautiful day. And then for dinner that night, my husband cooked up the local catch, the fresh catch of the day. And then because this is goes into September, I decided to use one of these Mary Inglebright pages and just slap that on there because we were at the seaside. So that ends the flip through of the Jot Journal, my Jot Journal for August. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day and a great week. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.